Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 presented by Stakes. Every week, we do our computer composite 1 to 131. These are not our opinions. This is us taking 8 computers we respect, taking their rankings, averaging them, and just telling you what they spit out. So this week, a top 5 that includes 3 SEC teams. It goes in this order, Blake: Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, Tennessee. I know Tennessee fans probably will be griping a little bit because they're not ahead of Alabama. The computers are more forward-looking than backward-looking. They consider margin of victory, all sorts of stuff, where you played. Tennessee's had some close wins, although Alabama has too. But if you're wondering the why, I'm sure that is your why right there.
Yeah, that will be what stands out for a lot of people. But like you said, the reasoning we had Tennessee ahead of Alabama in our Southeastern 14 power rankings this week, but the computers still liking certain data when it comes to Alabama. And like you mentioned, looking forward as well, perhaps. So that is the reason there. But no surprise to see all 3 of these teams, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, in the top 5, along with the 2 Big Ten foes there, Ohio State and Michigan. So yeah, right now, Chris, the way things stand right now, we're looking at an SEC versus Big Ten challenge in the college football playoff at this point. So
we are indeed. SEC is not done in the top 10. 6 is Texas, 7 Clemson, 8 Ole Miss, 9 Oklahoma State, 10 USC. Not much difference of opinion on the Rebels. High ranker, a couple SP Plus, Kenneth Massey and Pro Football Focus have Ole Miss at 7, and Sagarin at 12 is the low man on Ole Miss.
Yep, the Rebels again have a chance to rack up another quality victory when we talk about LSU and where they are in a second this weekend if they can win it in Baton Rouge there. But yeah, I mean, still undefeated. And like we keep saying, I mean, it's the computers have taken notice recently of Ole Miss. I think really since Chris probably, I mean, for a while now, even I want to say like early in the season, it was, Ole Miss was still pretty high up there. They got that win against Kentucky. I think that jumped them up a bit. But now, they continue to sit right there and, will they move up even more? Even if they win at LSU, it probably just depends on what some of the teams do in front of them. But that would be a big win if they can get that one.
Rounding out your top 25 when it comes, well, to everybody, and we'll of course note the SEC teams: 11 TCU, 12 Utah, 13 Penn State, 14 Mississippi State, 15 Kansas State, 16 UCLA, 17 Oregon, 18 Minnesota, 19 UCF, and 20 Illinois. Would not have expected those last 2 teams in there probably a month ago. 21 Wake Forest. Then we get SEC heavy. We go LSU at 22, Kentucky at 23, Baylor 24, and Cincinnati at 25. And if you want to go one more, Texas A&M just missed the top 25 at 26.
Yeah, I think my only thing in that would be, I guess I'm surprised a little bit Mississippi State didn't drop further than they did, because they're 14th still, even after that loss to Kentucky. They lose by 10 there, and it was a close game, but I guess I'm a little surprised by that maybe, but not surprised to see Kentucky kind of, back in there in that slot that they're in. And LSU, like we said, I think their team's been moving on up. Even Phil Steele has decided to move LSU up, Chris.
Yes.
That's when they're making moves. So we've joked about that the past couple of weeks. He's definitely been the low man on LSU, but
it still is.
Well, still is by a significant margin. But they're moving on up there. They're not in the 70s anymore. So yeah, LSU, moving on up, as we said, another great opportunity this weekend. They'll move up even further if they beat Ole Miss. But yeah, I guess the only thing is, but again, it's the computers, and there's probably a lot of data that goes into Mississippi State kind of staying where they were despite the loss to Kentucky.
Yeah, Phil Steele really skews the rankings here because he's the low man on Oregon at 49. Nobody else has Oregon outside the top 20. He's the low man on LSU at 51. I say low man, it's his computer. No one else has LSU below 26. So if you're wondering where this skews, it is Phil Steele's computer sees something in these teams that he just does not like. I'm guessing with Oregon that dates back to the Georgia blowout in week 1.
Yep, that is my guess. Margin of victory, as we say with the computers, is a big, big thing. And so not necessarily surprised by that.
Okay, big games coming up this weekend in the SEC to add extra excitement. We at Southeastern 14 are making predictions in the Stakes app. That's STAKES. We want to see if you guys agree or disagree with our picks, which are in the Stakes app. Go to playwithstakes.com/14. Sign up for Stakes. Place your predictions on our predictions. And if you use the invite code Southeastern 14 when you sign up, you'll get a double welcome bonus. You can follow our account there. That is Southeastern 14, so you can see what picks we have made. Okay, let's round out the top 30. Again, Texas A&M 26, Notre Dame 27, which seems high, Purdue 28, Syracuse, that's unbeaten Syracuse at 29, and Maryland at 30. Then we get to Arkansas at 31 and future SEC member Oklahoma at 32.
A lot of teams in that stretch there. Arkansas, obviously the SEC representative, Oklahoma, the future SEC representative, and probably gonna need to play a little better than they have recently if they want to be in good shape there. But yeah, I mean Arkansas, not surprised to see them start to move back up after that win at BYU. Like we said, just went through their toughest part of the schedule. Now have some opportunities the rest of the way, but go 1-3 in that big 4-game stretch, but getting that one at BYU was significant for Sam Pittman's team.
Okay, now the next SEC team, South Carolina at 40. Guess who the high ranker on South Carolina is?
I'm going to guess, because you pointed it out that way, that it's going to be Phil Steele, who
It is Phil Steele.
clearly much higher on South Carolina than he is LSU, and he and I are going to be the opposite on that. So, and Oregon. Oh, that's a good point. Wow. I don't understand it, but hey, maybe South Carolina beats A&M this weekend and starts to make their case. So,
low ranker on the Gamecocks, ESPN's FPI at 41. Our next SEC team, the Auburn Tigers. High ranker on Auburn is SP Plus at 42. Low computer, guess who? I'll give you one guess.
I am going to guess that I don't even need to, like, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I don't need to do the 50-50. I don't need to. I'm going to go Phil Steele's computers. Does
It
not
is
like
Phil
Florida.
Steele. What is going on with Phil Steele's computer this week?
It's his computer, man. It's like all of us, right? Like sometimes we just have computer problems, and it's not him.
Right.
It's the
not
software.
us, of course, but
we've never had technical issues here. But again, blame the software. When in doubt, Chris, it's always the software. So yeah.
Your next SEC team, Missouri at 59. Not a huge range of opinion on the Tigers. High computer 48. That is SP Plus. Low computer is 70. That is not Phil Steele. That's Pro Football Focus, which seems to be an outlier a lot of times. And I think we've just got one SEC team left, if I'm correct.
Well, Chris, and
have I missed anyone?
No.
Wait, I missed Florida.
No, you didn't miss Florida this time. You missed Auburn. We missed Florida last week. Auburn
I had Auburn.
Oh, did you? I thought we missed.
Yeah,
I thought we missed Florida. Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry. I thought the same.
Florida's 44.
Okay. Well, then that's 2 weeks in a row now we missed Florida because we did the same thing last week, Gators. It's not intentional. But yeah, we always miss someone on this list. But because here's why I thought it was Auburn and Florida mixed up, because I was like, well, who's the low man? I'm looking at the numbers here. Well, of course we know who it is. So I'm like, well, it's interchangeable, right? That the computers of Phil Steele, the software has got both of those teams pretty low. But yeah, Florida, Auburn, Missouri, they're in that, they're kind of still in that range. I mean, look, what Florida's keeping up here is the fact that they still have that win against Utah. And, we'll have a big opportunity coming up here soon against Georgia. So, yeah, I mean, the Gators, like we said, I mean, they're coming off that loss to LSU, but they do still have that Utah win in their pocket. Auburn, not really sure where things are headed there, although I think we do know where things are headed there. And then Missouri has been playing better, but, hasn't necessarily equaled out to wins yet. I think that will change this weekend.
Okay. High ranker on Florida, SP Plus 36. Low computer, of course, Phil Steele. All right, last team in the SEC countdown, Vanderbilt at 96. We will publish all these at our website, southeastern14.com, so you can see where all 131 teams rank. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our videos. We'll see you again soon at Southeastern 14.